Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to Surrender Lab, COZSNUG night. It's Thursday. Getting together.
I'll pull up our stuff.
Getting together in an all cozy situation to hang out and talk and be open and vulnerable with each other.
Just the screen.
Had a pretty good day. Ken and I have been working on a pitch deck, or all three of us have been working on a pitch deck. We're getting around to go do our first wave of fundraising. Pretty excited about that.
Got our numbers dialed in today on our first round, what we need for the first 6 months.
Yeah.
You guys certainly have something you can talk about while I'm trying to let us in.
Yeah.
What are we doing tonight?
I think we're just gonna ask you. I think we're gonna go through. I could just go through our list more. We thought earlier about asking each other about moral dilemmas. I pulled up this thing the other day. I didn't know if I read anything good about
This is a fascinating conversation.
Where'd it go? We should have been a little more prepared, but honestly, I think it kind of works with Coach Doug just to kind of just be casual about it, because it's all about we're not trying to just be rushed and so organized and like a business. So we're trying to be just a community of just people who are just enjoying themselves. So it's not like
I don't really like the word community because it doesn't seem to fit what we're doing as much as what we're doing. It's an all right word, but I think that it's more what I feel is more just like it's a movement.
Yeah,
it's a movement that we're supporting. It's like who wouldn't possibly support this movement no matter what you're doing in life? Who wouldn't call themselves an ambassador or an advocate or an ally or an associate? Something for the cause of empowering empathy.
Right.
Right. But community is not the same as movement. They're two completely separate words.
I know, that's why I actually I love the idea of having community. We all want more community. That just happens, I think, naturally as we actually do the very thing. Because only the people that are going to be a part of our community are the ones who actually thrive on the kinds of things that we thrive on. Right?
Yeah, right.
So naturally, we all graduate
but is that
right into the communities that we want to be a part of.
So we're both a community and a movement.
Wouldn't that take us away from inclusivity, though, if
no,
we're only attracting people interested in just what we're about?
Well, how can you possibly attract everyone when not everyone's interested in what you have to offer? So you can only be inclusive up to the point where somebody doesn't want, and then what are you going to do? Go force it upon them? Or do you just let them do?
Well, no.
So you just let everybody just be right where they are?
Right.
Now we're only wanting to collaborate with the people who actually also believe in this kind of a movement. Which then obviously we all come together as a network and a community and all the other things that we want to call it.
Well, they can believe in, yes, that's great what you're doing, but they don't have to be involved in that community. I mean, they don't have to be a community causing the social movement, but they could still be interested in what we're doing in healing themselves.
Yeah,
and that's,
yeah, of course.
But that's...
Well, that just makes them part of the community, part of the movement. So I don't know. I almost
exactly, by their own choice.
I almost think
both
of those words I think are pretty applicable to what we're doing.
our fourth person. Put that seat out for you, Gilly.
Yeah.
Do you have our Google Docs up?
Yeah, I
or is
do.
it on
I'm reading
phone?
through them right now.
I mentioned going through the curriculum,
Oh,
talking about things in that.
Do you like that idea of walking through the curriculum, like walking through and talking through the whole entire outline of it?
Yeah.
I think it just starts off says empowering empathy.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, let's. I say we read through this first, guys. Do you want to? Let's take a turn reading this for a second. That video that you just made, the words that we just put
Oh,
out
sure,
about
yeah.
the illusion of empowerment and unveiling true strength.
Just want to read that real quick.
Let's do it. I'll start off. Yeah, we wrote this because it obviously needs to be talked about. The illusion of empowerment, unveiling true strength. In a world that thrives on appearances and self assurance, it's easy to fall into the trap of false empowerment. We often find ourselves embracing superficial facades that masquerade as ultimate strength, only to eventually realize the emptiness that lies beneath. But let us delve deeper and discover the stark contrast between the illusory and the authentic, the artificial and the genuine. Mask of false empowerment. Picture a stage illuminated by artificial spotlights, where confidence is mistaken for arrogance and bravado takes center stage. This illusion of empowerment is a mere facade. It's an act put on to deceive both ourselves and those around us. We laugh, we boast, and we convince ourselves that we're invincible, but deep down, a lingering emptiness eats away at our true essence.
Fragility of the illusion. As we peel back the layers of this false empowerment, cracks begin to appear. The laughter becomes hollow, and the smiles lose their radiance. We realize that behind the secrecy mask, vulnerability resides, waiting to be acknowledged. The fear of failure, rejection, and inadequacy looms large, reminding us that the illusion we've created is nothing more than a fragile house of cards already starting to tumble. Embracing our imperfections. Authentic empowerment emerges when we have the courage to confront our flaws and embrace our imperfections. It is the ability to laugh at ourselves and acknowledging that we are not infallible beings, but rather beautifully flawed, connected individuals on a journey of self-discovery. True strength lies in our capacity to accept and learn from our mistakes, rather than covering them up with false bravado or any amount of shame or secrecy. Contrary to the illusion, real empowerment blossoms when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable. Its willingness to expose our raw emotions, fears, and insecurities, understanding that true connection and growth arise from this place of authenticity. In opening ourselves up to the world, we invite others to do the same, fostering an environment of genuine understanding and support. I want to read this last part, Randy.
Journey towards real empowerment goes beyond the self. It involves discovering our true purpose and channeling our strengths to make a positive impact on the lives of others. Genuine empowerment arises when we uplift and empower those around us, creating a ripple effect of change that extends far beyond the confines of our own existence. We can all be love emergent. It really is choice. greater than 3, greater than 3, greater than 3.
These are hearts.
Oh. In the pursuit of empowerment, let us not be deceived by the false allure of superficial confidence. Instead, let us peel back the layers, laugh at ourselves, and embrace the vulnerability that accompanies true strength. It is through this journey of self-discovery that we unlock the doors to genuine empowerment, forging connections, making a difference, and embracing the beautifully imperfect beings that we are.
What do you think about it?
Yeah, beautiful language.
Why is it important?
I think it's really good to talk about. A lot of our culture kind of sells us things that are outside of ourselves to will fix us or make us better in some kind of way. Improve our lives and make our lives better. By buying whatever product for whatever reason. I think it's really important to kind of point out the fragility of that. Of when you're just covering yourself up with something outside of yourself to fix a problem that's really inside of you.
Right. And there's a facade of like what we find what's successful. Like, are you successful? Have you been successful? But there's a facade between fortune, wealth, family, like in what people perceive as being successful.
Right.
But successful doesn't need to fit into a norm. I don't feel like that we as society have created. Successful can mean I wake up every day enjoying what I'm going to do, or enjoying what new challenge or adventure comes, or successful because I do have friends or a family. I mean, it doesn't have to be fame or fortune or these big, huge milestones that society puts out there for all of us to try to think we have to be a certain thing.
Yeah, I learned a long time ago, it didn't matter how much money you had for your level of feeling of success inside. Once I learned how to meditate at first, I was like, oh, this is true success, learning how to become present. And then I was like, and then once you learn how to get present a little bit, then you're like, okay, well now what would success look like? Because this is real success now. This feels awesome. I have peace of mind. Now what do I want my story to look like? And then you're like, okay, well success now. You start to like redefine my idea of what success is. All of a sudden I'm like, now I've already know how to do this, and I have this skill, and I have this skill. Well, then wouldn't success then be gaining these next skills that I want to gain in some sort of a cool fashion that I want to do it, or
right? Do you find it healthy to set smaller successes, like rather than saying, yeah, when I'm rich I'll be successful, because that could be a long shot? Do you find it more successful for our own empowerment to say, I will be successful when I overcome my fear of this, like simple, smaller things? Or do you think a big, giant thing is just as empowering?
I almost think it's more like you're already successful right now, having gotten to where you are. And now what else do you want to be successful
in? Right, we are. What are we already successful at?
Right.
Gain the empowerment to keep.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I thought that success was all the things that the world dished to me all growing up. And I found out that none of those gave me the feeling that felt like success once I found peace of mind. Then I was like, oh, how do you have peace of mind all the time?
Right.
That seems like success to me now. But success is in a variety of categories too, because you got vitality, you got abundance, you got clarity, you got all these different ways that you can actually be maximizing the success. So then what would true success be? But to learn how to master oneself. The ultimate of self-discovery and self-mastery and learning to manifest with intentionality, all that is before us right now. That sounds and feels like more success now in my life than what I used to think.
Cool.
But I had pulled up the our COZSNUG. We have a lot of language on COZSNUG that we haven't walked through since the very beginning. Can we walk through this again and just kind of
Sure.
talk through this? Because this is a word that ever since we came up with it, we just know that this is a word that we could be focusing on that helps us transform the whole entire world through connection. COZSNUG is a feeling of warmth, comfort, and safety that comes from being in a cozy environment. COZSNUG emphasizes empathy, understanding, and compassion in our relationship with others. COZSNUG allows us to slow down, relax, and appreciate the simple things in life. COZSNUG values human connection and community as a philosophy of living. COZSNUG prioritizes self-care, relaxation, and emotional well-being as a lifestyle. COZSNUG promotes kindness, inclusivity, and respect for all people as a movement. COZSNUG is a symbol of hope and optimism in a chaotic and uncertain world. COZSNUG invites us to appreciate the beauty of the present moment. COZSNUG reminds us that everyone deserves to feel safe, loved, and supported. COZSNUG celebrates life's simple pleasures and comforts. COZSNUG is a new, universally easy-to-say word that helps us understand being cozy toward others. COZSNUG represents a globally recognized movement of empowering empathy. COZSNUG creates environments where dignity is paramount. COZSNUG proclaims a new way of relating to the world. COZSNUG is a call to action for empathy and compassion. COZSNUG describes a warm, welcoming, and comfortable environment perfectly, and is perhaps the coziest cuddle blanket you ever snuggled up
A lot.
in. It was a lot.
We could just say COZSNUG is
Yeah, we should shorten that.
everything.
Well,
It's like three in a
nutshell.
It's just so.
Everything you
I
want.
know the information is
so
good,
much
but
there,
the
and
more
we do need to
dense
shorten
of
it down.
information we can get in the shortest amount of words is definitely the most optimal.
I know. So let's do that next. We'll do that. But it's sure good to go back through and see all those thoughts. How far and wide it fit. It fits in everything. It's so beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Okay. What do we want to go through now, you guys?
Well, yeah, let's go through our curriculum. Let's just talk about it. Let's see how this thing is. It's an overview of the course, and we wrote this thing a while back as like a curriculum that's kind of just designed to give, kind of as just a cultural guideline kind of thing.
It's a global inclusivity initiative cultivating connection.
That's a lot of words.
That's okay. It's only
Inclusivity initiative cultivating connection.
Got it.
I'm gonna get rid of the global right now. Right, but do we need to say that specifically? Does it matter if it's
Let's just say it's
in
a
this one
North
spot
Ogden. Let's
or
just say
in all over the
a
world?
North Ogden inclusivity
It doesn't need to
initiative
say where it
cultivating
originates or
connection.
where it ends. It just can say what it is.
Well, let's just say North Ogden, Utah only.
That's what I'm saying.
Exclusive inclusivity initiative cultivating connection.
In a group setting, right?
Cultivating
Is
connection
the
amongst
curriculum.
cultivating connection amongst only individuals who want to stay separated. Okay.
Because this is
Let's read through
ideal
our
for
overview. Let's read through this whole entire. Let's get a feel for this. Let's read through the. We have so far in this curriculum we have in the introduction we have an overview of the course and its goals. We have a definition of inclusivity and its importance, and a discussion of the challenges and barriers to inclusivity currently.
and this would be used in specifically workplace,
workplace,
school
schools.
environments, group environment.
Anywhere. You can imagine a group of
Group or team setting.
sheriffs,
Yeah.
deputies
Together.
gathering around to gather and learn and actually gain an inclusivity initiative into their department, into their whole entire deal, that it replaces the multicultural diversity training that we've been spewing around for years. It's divisive in its nature. This is an inclusive. These are inclusive words that can show everybody how to empower their own empathy
Together while collaborating in a group.
It
Or
goes
with their
way,
collaborators.
whether they are collaborating or not, they're gaining the data, and then when they do it with others, it all goes faster and easier. Yeah, more enjoyable that way. My
Oh, I
experience.
thought this was written because it does say keep track of. I thought it was written for group or workplace.
It doesn't have to be. It's any group or individual. That's
Yeah.
that wants to go through. Yeah. Then the second section, we have a deeper understanding of dignity and social variety. Understanding and appreciating differences in race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, age, ability, religion, and other factors that shape identity. Examining the impact of stereotypes and biases on individuals and groups. Developing empathy and cultural competence.
So how do you
Yeah.
how do you incorporate all of that without talking about diversity? Because this is emphasizing.
Well, you know, the
We
word
talk
diversity
about
isn't the
variety. We
isn't the
talk about
problem.
social variety
It's,
instead of diversity.
it's just about the dependency on the word diversity and how we're kind of just spreading it out more to inclusivity instead of just talking about diversity. Let's actually be inclusive with each other
And talk about our differences.
because there's
No.
nothing.
Isn't that
No,
what
no, no.
diversity is?
No, we're simply just identifying so that you can actually have a little bit of a respect for it. What most trainings before have done is they spend all their time talking about differences and hey guys, we just need to accept each other. Now we want to show actual skills that you can gain right now, but you kind of have to have a context for the conversation. And so the very, very beginning of this whole thing, it builds a context for the conversation. So you can see, oh yeah, there are people that, oh yeah, because people don't often think about the people that aren't like them. You're trying to draw awareness to the identification that, oh, there are these so-called other things out here now. Hey, how could you actually start to learn from them instead of seeing them as a different thing than you? Because they're actually part of you. If you really knew how things are working here, you'd know that you're projecting them. And so we're trying to help people become more mature, understand that becoming a relatable thing involves becoming increasingly mature than we used to be. Because we were not as relatable as we were less mature.
And that's what this type number 2 course goes more in depth on.
Yeah, so this is just the outline right now. So that's what it dives into. And we just have it down here so we can walk through it if we want to. Let's keep walking through the outline right now. The third section is building inclusive communities. Do you want to read that, Ash?
Sure. Building inclusive communities. Identifying and understanding self-oppression and discrimination. Creating safe and inclusive spaces for all individuals. Understanding the role of power and privilege in social interactions. And encouraging allyship and advocacy. These are all, just basic things for, so let's start with self-oppression and discrimination. That's about self-empowerment. Just not discriminating, negatively, not just with others, but, within yourself. And you can discriminate against yourself and disempower yourself because of your story you're telling yourself about the world.
Is that what self-oppression?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is?
Self-oppression is exactly that.
Any kind of self-sabotage.
Yeah, any kind of self-sabotage like that.
Repressing, where you repress, anytime you repress your shadow, and anytime you repress that part of you that you don't want to identify with, you're having an impact on everything, everywhere, and you're not even aware of it. And one of the biggest reasons why we're saying all these words is because the whole world needs new words to know that all those old programmed words that are in their heads are not self-serving, nor are they helping all of us. So let's shine some light on it so you can have new words. It doesn't have to be these exact words, but something along these lines. Hey, let's at least just get the conversation started is all we really care about the most.
Right.
In the next section, We have communication, conflict resolution, and relatability. Developing effective communication skills for discussing sensitive topics, navigating conflicts and disagreements in a respectful and productive manner, learning how to actively listen and respond with empathy, becoming more relatable in the workplace and beyond. I love in this section how we get into the real difference between listening to learn, actively listening from somebody, learning from their unique experience, and how most people are just listening to react. And those who think they're smart enough, they're not listening to react anymore. They're listening to respond. And they'll tell you, look, I'm not listening to react, I'm listening to respond. I'm like, okay. So now can you just listen to learn for a second instead of listening to respond?
I think listening to react and respond are the same thing.
Pretty much. Now, there's a difference between reacting and responding, though. And so they like to actually play that difference.
Well, you are responding based on a reaction that's triggered.
Well, reaction is
so-
more like instant, and respond is more like maybe you thought about it for a second.
Well, it's comparing apples and oranges
Well,
as well, because we're talking about listening in and of itself. What does it mean
Right.
Right.
in the one sense?
When you're listening to respond, you're already thinking of what you're responding and not
Right.
even listening all the way.
Okay, in the next section, inclusive leadership. Understanding the role of leaders in promoting inclusivity. Identifying strategies for creating inclusive workplaces and organizations. Developing leadership skills that promote social variety, equity, and inclusion. Next section, action planning and implementation. Developing an action plan for creating inclusive environments in personal and professional contexts. Evaluating progress and adjusting strategies as needed, and identifying resources and support systems for continuing the work of inclusivity. In conclusion, reflection on personal growth and learning throughout the course, and discussion on the next steps for continuing to promote inclusivity and relatability in personal and professional contexts. So it's a pretty comprehensive curriculum so far that at least gets the conversation going. And we're going to continually keep building out and beefing this out, and we'd like all kinds of additional help in knowing the very best ways to disseminate this information into all the different types of learners out there to help them learn to receive the information with as much effortlessness as possible. So, to all the wordsmiths and word artists out there, we love the idea of continuing to collaborate on these words with more and more of you. What do we want to talk about? I have
Dogs standing in front of the camera.
Cute. That's okay.
can I share this poem?
Yeah, for sure.
This poem is called Rooted in Empathy, a living tribute to the past. We are all trees with roots that run deep, an intricate web of connection we keep. Our roots stretch far and wide, touching those we receive, those with whom we collide. Inclusivity is the soil in which we grow, relatability the water that helps us flow, empowering empathy the sunlight we need to thrive and flourish and create more seeds. Our roots give us some history, the struggles and triumphs, the mystery. They ground us in who we are and help us with the skills we've gained so far. You want to read, Dash?
Did you write this?
Me and back and forth.
We'll nourish each leaf with love and care, and let empathy be the air we share. For it's in our roots that we find our strength to weather life's storms, to create the new of any length. So let's co-create the new together, intertwined, our roots connected, our hearts aligned. May we stand tall and proud, a forest of trees, rooted in empathy, in vitality, abundance, and peace.
You guys like it?
Yeah, I like that.
I think that needs to have music put to it. I'd love to just.
Yeah.
Those
Just
words
about
are
that.
so beautiful to me. Should we talk about any of the other stuff that we've been working on? Should we talk about
Oh, we just got our Instagram page up, empowering empathy. I don't know if anyone watching this might want to go check that out. What else have we really been working
well, lots of things.
on?
Yeah, so yeah, we can talk about that all the rest of the whole entire night if we want to. We can.
Yeah, our real main focus right now, even we're not live, is we've been kind of figuring out where we're really nailing down how we're going to be getting donations and where we want our donations to be coming from, and getting a better pitch deck in order so that we really are better in our forward-facing clarity for anyone who wants to see our vision and wants to participate in any way.
Yeah, like we're almost done with this nice little presentation. We've had a nice presentation before, but it wasn't specifically to this cause because we've just been doing this for free for so long, and it's all we always want it to be for free. But now we want it to be able to have some longevity and be able to sustain itself, and look how much benefit it's adding. So let's get this thing actually funded now and do the right thing. And I'm very excited about how very little amount of money it takes for us to do such a big impact.
Yeah.
Maybe we should describe it just a little bit, just to describe. Let's do that. Let's describe this and see if we can get feedback from everybody, because we love the simplicity of this kind of a model where we have 3 different primary domains right now that are all revolving around this one entity. We have a nonprofit here, Empowering Empathy, that we are empowering empathy across the globe. And the domain for that is empathy.lol. Although the website's not up yet, we are trying to get money right now to actually develop those websites. We have a makeshift website up right now for surrenderedapp.com, which is the other domain. And then we have one more domain, badass.art, BADASS.ART. That is on, so imagine the community, the movement like this. Right in the middle, you got this empowering empathy movement that is spreading the message of empowering empathy out to the world through associates and volunteers and anybody who wants to share cool videos. And we have a variety of different types of content that are going to be being put out on all these words. But we have so far the Universal Declaration of Inclusivity that we believe needs to be seen by every single person in the world. We've been told that now by enough people that we know that those words can be words that will benefit everyone on the planet right now.
Right, before getting into that, explain the 3 domains and how it's.
Okay. So
explain that first before breaking it into.
Okay, I was going to come right
things.
back to it right now, so that's perfect timing. So, empathy.lol, badass.art, surrenderedapp.com. Surrenderedapp.com because we're coming from a place where we've been transactionalizing relationships.com. Transactions. We came from there, but we learned that if we surrender, the most powerful word that we know, in lab, just observe instead of label, that we find out that everything really is okay in the present moment.
And we're doing that
Through a variety of different techniques. We use frequency, vibration, breath work. We use all different types of meditation, and anything that works to get you present.
Smells,
Yes.
senses, all your senses, right?
Yes, we're trying to maximize using full body movement and
That's
whole
on
body sensation as much as
Wednesday
possible.
is full body movement.
Yes.
I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all under.
Yeah, but
Surrender
that's all.
App.
It's all underneath
all
Surrender
three of
App,
these
yes,
things
Even
it's
are-
all-
COZSNUG. Is
even
COZSNUG
COZSNUG,
under
yeah,
Surrender?
yeah.
Yes,
Coach
everything
comes
is
from-
happening under Surrender
Oh,
because we're
okay.
right now we're
Okay.
just learning how to have conversations to begin with. Because until everybody's already 100% perfectly okay with each other, then we're not even relating. That's what we're saying. Relatability starts when we already accept everything's already okay with everybody. Nobody's labeling anybody. Now we have relatability. Now we can co-create. Now we're in a space where our systems are relatable because we're receptive of the unique experiences of others. And now we can actually be in the space where we're grateful, we see beauty, we see each other's potentiality, and we see how we can co-create to make maximization of even more enjoyment. So the goal here is to, because we believe everybody deserves to enjoy living, that's why we have these 3 different little rings here. But it's all really one big movement. It's a movement. Right out the very gate, most people in society right now could use some Surrender Lab. It helps us get present. It helps us have peace of mind. It helps us get beyond our anxiety and our depression. It helps us lose weight. It helps us gain balance and homeostasis in any single part of our body, in our mind, in our system, our soul that we want to. So now, the way it is being able to be done for free for everybody, Surrender Lab and Empowering Empathy, we're going to get all this messaging out to the entire world, and we give everybody all this space for them to be able to come in and heal themselves, all for free. And so we don't know how to actually do this other than say, hey, guys, this is a pure thing. It's so pure, and it is what it is. 100% of all our funds go to right to this. We can show to the penny of how our finances all can work on this. And we don't want to have anybody getting rich on this, and we don't want any hierarchy of any kind of thing. So we just have a network. We have everybody, and all the people who are going to work full time in it, we want them to make $2,000 a month. That's it, $2,000 a month. That's what they got to live on. Now, I don't know if that sounds like it's like, well, I'd sure like to have to. Well, if you do, then please call us. We want to have you as an ambassador or an associate or whatever you want to call it.
But we're still working on how to make that happen, because we're not making that happen yet.
Right, because we haven't taken on the funds, but we already have a whole list of people. Right now there are 8 at a minimum who right this very second would easily say, yes, I do the $2,000 a month thing. I'll be full-time with you right now. I mean, we have 8 right this second. And that's just a very fast list of the ones I just went through today. So, yes, we're ready to roll. We've already got all the language we need to. We have the curriculum. We have all that. We just need to translate it into every single language now. We need it sent out to every single place on the planet now. We need volunteers to help with all this. But it all flows. Now, the other thing is that we also want to be able to sustain our own selves without reliance upon just the good-hearted people out there who believe in a cause like this. Like a philanthropist. I mean, when I had a whole bunch of money, I would have given to a cause like this in a heartbeat. This is a cool cause that's empowering empathy across the globe. Yeah, it's a straight up nonprofit that you can get a tax write-off with, and it's like this is something that would make me feel good about myself if I was allocating money to this kind of a thing, because we know of its purity, right? We know of every single part of it that is what it's being done for. Now, badass.art is the way on the top end of this community. Now that we're all creating stuff together, why don't we say, hey, let's have this repository, let's have this site, let's have this platform where artists can thrive together. That means we have art constantly up being showcased, and we have art constantly up for sale, and we sell art for artists. Any art that inspires inclusivity or relatability, we want to see it. We want to showcase it for you. We want to push it out to the world. We want you to get top dollar for it. We want you to, and the way the model would work would be just like the standard model for art, where the artist is going to get 50%, and the foundation is going to get 50%, so we can actually keep on going. So now look at how many funds can be brought in and how much good can actually be done, how fast this can all go if we just simply get more art that inspires the concept. And if we don't believe that we deserve more art that inspires inclusivity and relatability, then that's okay. What we're saying is that I'm not interested in inclusivity and relatability right now in my life. I'm not interested in connection right now. I'd rather be in my cocoon or whatever you want to call it. And that's perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We're talking to those who actually care about jumping on board with something like this. We need as much help as we can possibly get. We need as much help as we can possibly get from people who don't have money, people who do have money. We need help from every single. If you have a skill set that you think would help this kind of a cause, please call us right away. We want all the collaboration we can get. We already have lots of collaborators. We want all of them, though. Anybody who believes deeply in the cause like we do. This is our lives. what we're pouring our whole entire lives into. So it matters all the way to us. Anything else we want to share? Is that it?
That was really beautiful.
Let's wrap up then.
We have 20 more minutes.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Oh,
We do?
Yeah.
all right. What do you guys want to talk about?
10 more minutes.
10 more minutes.
Ryder. Can't walk through.
Ryder, you want to
without
come and power
coming
your
in
empathy real quick?
You can't walk through without making an appearance,
Yeah,
mister.
right.
He doesn't have to.
Let's
Oh, Gilly might want to speak up here.
Meow. He was just filling in the chair for us.
What else do we want to
Place to go donate now.
GoFundMe.
We have a
Right now,
GoFundMe.
our Zelle, any of our Zelles could be
Yeah,
funded.
but none of our phone numbers are out there for anyone to go grab. Oh,
Yeah, they are. They're on our
yeah,
websites. I'll tell you my phone number now.
Never
It's
mind, our phone
801
number's on our website.
801 436
Both
Make
mine.
it easier to go to the website and
Yeah.
hit a button, right?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
It's not there right now.
we'll have
It's
that
not
set.
there.
We'll have that set up very soon.
801 436 4184. That's one phone number that you could Zelle money to or Venmo money to. 801 577. Tell me the number.
Oh, 8306. I was just thinking if they wanted a tax write-off, just calling
can
up and
get it.
sending a Venmo.
We need
They
to
can
get
get it.
our
They can get it
501c3
tax off
to
because
set
it's yes, they can.
Oh, okay.
Don't think that they're limited to that. No, we can make sure that happens. Yeah.
I was just thinking of how that would happen. Through
Right.
Zelle or Venmo. I mean, what the what their proof would look like for them to say, yes, this is where I gave the donation to. It's not saying it's going to. That's all. That's what I was thinking.
Randy, would you be in the mood to make any of those bad boys? Would you? Ew. You guys, have we talked about Clue much here yet? This is Clue.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it.
This is Clue, short for Inclusivitas Maximus. Clue is
Monster.
he's really this planet's origin story. We have all the proof actually. That's where's that at? When we did the origin story, that art that was like, it was so, we did a whole entire storyboard from where Clue came from. It's a really precious story, and we'll tell you more about the backstory to it later. But
Well, why don't we talk about our story of where he came from?
Yeah,
that's what I was just gonna say.
talk
Is
about
why
it.
don't you tell now? Maybe like what your perspective on was this.
Well, Clue is the mascot that we originally built. He's a knit monster. For originally Badass News, which is now Empowering Empathy. But we do offer a lot of badass news on with what we are empowering through empathy. So
And that site is still up, which is actually being converted into badass.art. And yeah, we have a bunch of changes that are happening with all that right now.
but we have talked about doing, this is a hand knit monster that we can do custom made monsters for whatever.
Yeah, it's part of the fundraising. If you want to like have one of these made for somebody for like for the next
For
for
a
a
kid's
gift coming up or anything,
bedroom.
or I mean, there's smaller ones too that are about like less than half the size of this. That
The bigger ones are funner and
You
can be
like
used as
making-
pillows. Yeah, they're easier to do with the buttons.
and so if you're interested in one of these, just
yeah, we
just
can
call
do
us. Just call us.
different shapes and arms and legs, or just say, hey, send us a picture of your room. We'll create a monster to match,
Nice.
like custom made monster
Good
for
idea.
or living room or whatever, wherever, sitting room, patio. Do a custom made monster to match it for a donation of what's a limited.
Well,
It would need to be-
don't even say that right now because you'll just have to think that through later on. Don't commit
Right.
yourself to anything yet because you don't know. I saw you spend a lot of time making that, and I don't want you locking yourself into something where you're going to make $6 an hour again. You know what I mean? I mean, you can if you really like doing them, but I also seen you almost get carpal tunnel by making them. So.
Well, 'cause that was the first thing I'd knit in like 8 years. So yes, but those poofs, I whipped those poofs out in like 4 days. I just haven't finished them.
Oh, should we bring one of those out here and show it too?
I'll finish it.
Oh, finish it first,
Yeah.
and then yeah. So like knit poofs, and I mean, Brandy does knit pretty much anything. If you want anything custom made knit, Brandy could probably figure it out. We got to show some of your stuff. You have some beautiful art that you've done, baby.
Yeah, I haven't hung on to it. Well, except my ponchos. A couple of those. Or ponchos.
Oh yeah, those ponchos are really cool. All right, well, we wrap it up.
Yeah, we can wrap up.
What do you think, Gills?
Cozy
Wrap
evening.
it up, buddy.
Talking about our thoughts and our plans and hopes for the future. I think that's pretty solid. That's exactly what COZSNUG is about.
Right. Our hopes and dreams and our current undertaking.
Our friends and our animals that we share our lives with.
This is Gilly. Gilbert. You see his ear? Gilbert.
Thank you.
Oh,
And I just totally knocked over our microphone. Everyone who had headphones on, you're welcome.
Sorry.
All right.
Thanks, you guys. We love you.